Hi everyone, this is Miss Bailey with the Knox County Public Library Tutor Team, and I am here today with another kindergarten and first grade academic standards reading video. So taking a look at the academic standards that are covered in today's lesson, you can take a look at these grade level specific standards, and if you would like to look at any other grade level specific standards, you can visit the IDOE website that's listed here. Here are some tips for using this video to best benefit your learner, or if you're looking for any additional modifications. So if you're looking for ways to make these video lessons a little bit easier, if you want to slow it down a little bit, if you're noticing that your learner is struggling to complete parts of these lessons with ease, a really important exercise is that sound deck exercise. So getting to know the alphabet, not only identifying the name of the letter, but the specific visual that goes with the letter. And the reason why we want to really focus on the specific visual is because during these lessons, I will refer to that visual multiple times. And so versus, referring to the letter A, and just thinking of anything that starts with that sound, I want them to really be able to think and visualize in their head what that specific card looks like. And then, of course, identifying what the letter sounds like. Focusing on handwriting and letter formation. While this is a prerequisite skill, it's also very important for all learners, no matter where their readiness is, to have that correct letter formation. So here are what we really focus on, which is starting the letter at the top versus the bottom, and the picking up of the pencil if it's necessary or not, because this is a really big thing for your student as far as the fluidity of their writing and the automaticity. I notice that a lot of students that do not have correct letter formation tend to struggle and get frustrated a little more easily because it takes longer, or they might avoid doing tasks that involve writing because it is not something that they're as comfortable with. So letter formation is very important. Some additional modifications, and so the way that I have these set up is that the purple dot represents the level of difficulty. So these are the suggestions that I have, again, for learners who are needing to have a little extra practice or break the lesson down into smaller parts. And of course, always feel free to modify the lesson by completing the video in smaller increments. So here are some tips or modifications for parents who are noticing that their learner is really doing pretty well with the videos. The two purple dots, those are for the friends who are finding a good fit with these videos. So pause, replay, as much as needed. If you're looking for ways to extend the lesson for more of a challenge, if you're noticing that your student could move on from the practice, that's fine. I encourage you to do that, but I would ask that you don't completely skip sections of the video, because the way that the scope and sequence of the lesson is laid out is there for a reason. So if you're noticing that your student has had enough practice with one of the exercises and they're ready to move on, that's fine, but please don't skip the entire section. The 3 purple dots are some suggestions that I have for students who are ready for more of a challenge, who can extend this lesson with these tips. So the materials that will be needed are a piece of paper and a pencil, and this symbol will show whenever those materials are required. Okay, friends, we are ready to get warmed up. So our first exercise is that sound deck exercise, and the way that we do this is we say the letter name, what we see in the picture, and then the sound that the letter makes. Okay, A, apple, A. B, boy, B. C, cat, K. D, dog, D. E, egg, E. F, fish, F. G, goat, G. H, hat, H. I, igloo, I. J, jam, J. K, kite, K. L, lamp, L. M, man, M. N, nest, N. O, ox, ah. P, pig, P. Q, queen, qu. R, rat, r. S, snake, s. T, top, t. U, up, V, van, v. W, wagon, w. X, box, x. Y, yo-yo, y. Z, zebra, z. And now we're ready for those digraphs that we've been working really hard on. So guys, I want to remind you that these videos are something that you need to follow in order. Again, that scope and sequence is really intentional. So if this is the first time you're tuning into the KCPL videos, the Knox County Public Library Tutor Team videos, I really encourage you to go back and watch the videos that came before this and follow them in order. Even if you're just starting, it's better to do that first and then work your way up. So these digraphs again, guys, that's when we have 2 letters that are working together to say one sound. Okay, sh like ship, like thumb, or th like this. And that digraph is the one that I want to see your tongue. Like thumb, or th like this. Ch like chair. Wh like whistle. And that one, the WH is the one that you're really pushing air out. That's different than just plain old W. Wh like wagon, but wh 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 like whistle, you're blowing that air out, kind of like you're whistling, or you're blowing out like a birthday candle. And our new sound or new phonogram today, if you notice, it's on one card, friends, so it only makes one sound. There are 3 letters working together to say one sound, and that sound is ang. Ang. We're ready for our nonsense word fluency practice. So friends, whenever you're doing this, again, I really want you to make sure that you're either chopping up the sounds and then putting it all together by swiping, or you're stretching out the sounds and then at the end putting it all together by pulling it all out. Okay, those motions really help us get these sounds down. Okay, so that first word, y, ag, put it all together, yag. Udge, rudge. Owl, tall. Ebb, keb. Is, diz. Okay, these are nonsense words. That means that they don't make sense. Okay, they might actually sound like a real word that you know, but they are not spelled correctly. And the reason why these nonsense words are so important is because they really help us as good readers, writers, and spellers get those sounds down automatically. So that automaticity, like you see it, you say it. They really help us not get tripped up in our brains whenever we're looking at real words. So these are great practice for new readers. It's a good exercise for any reader. We're ready for our visual practice that has the sounds in them that we have been working on before this video. So friends, I want you to zoom in with your spy eyes. And can you see any sounds that you're like, ooh, I know that. We've been working on that. I'll give you a spoiler alert. You should see a lot of sounds like that you are recognizing. Now you'll notice that with this visual practice, these are real words. They're not nonsense words. And we're going to do the same thing where we stretch the word out or chop it up and then put it all together. So looking at that first word together, when, or when. Stretch it out and say it. Those sounds are really important. At, chat, lunch, lunch. Now, if I'm going a little too quickly for your liking, always feel free to pause it and do it on your own. Stomp, chip, at, that, math, blob, shed, smash, nests, grunt. Okay, now that we have practiced all those sounds, we're going to go through and read these words with fluency. Okay, so fluency means that you read what you see, so reading it correctly, and you kind of pick up the pace a little bit. Okay, looking at that first row of words, when, chat, lunch, stomp. Let's try that a little faster. When, chat, lunch, stomp. Okay, second row, chip, that, math, blob. Let's try it a little faster. Chip, that, math, blob. In the last row, shed, smash, nests, grunt. A little faster. Shed, smash, nests, grunt. Now friends, if you want to pause this and you want to read all of the words together as quickly as you can, go ahead. Practice as much as you would like, because practice makes progress, friends. And that reading fluency is what we are really working our way up towards. That's why we do these practices. Okay, before we go on, let's talk about what good readers, writers, and spellers look like. Okay, good readers, writers, and spellers do all of these things. They do more than this too, but these are the really important things I want you to focus on. Using good letter formation. Keeping the goal in mind. Trying their best. Never giving up. Okay, here's one that I really want you to pay attention to because I mean it. Good readers, writers, and spellers make mistakes, friends. It's okay. Mistakes don't mean that you are not smart, okay? We get smarter from our mistakes if we make sure that we do our best, we don't give up, and if we make mistakes, we fix them, okay? But we definitely don't give up. Good readers, writers, and spellers think about and say the sounds. And they also look for sounds everywhere. Okay, so make sure that you are really thinking about looking and sounding like a good reader, writer, and speller. So friends, our goal today is to think about the sounds so that we can spell and read words correctly, okay? And our goal will be achieved when we use what we know about those sounds to read and write. Okay, so that symbol that you see on the goal, the light bulb symbol, woo, big idea. Okay, light bulbs going off, that's gonna be the clue that you can use your goal, that you should be thinking about your goal. So when you see that light bulb, that means, ooh, this is an opportunity for me to use what I know about sounds, about the sounds we've been working on, to read and write and spell. Okay, friends, go ahead and get your materials ready, your paper and pencil, because it is time for our sound bank. We're going to have 7 sounds. Friends, the first sound is wh. Let me show you wh, like whistle. Second sound, like thumb, or th, like this. And if I'm going too quick, always feel free to pause it and then press play when you're ready. 3 is like nest. 4, like egg. 5, like igloo. 6, like top. And 7 is qu, like queen. Let's check. These are the sounds that you should have written. All right, readers and writers and spellers, we're ready for our words to spell. Let's put that sound bank to good use. So you'll notice I have the sound bank up at the top right corner. I want you to make sure you use that. We just spent that time writing those sounds, listening and writing those sounds down so that we could use them here to spell our words. When we are listening, repeating, stretching out, or chopping up, we have to go through those steps. That's really important. Okay, so the first word is when. So I want you to say that word back to me. When. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is chop it up or stretch it out, whichever one is your favorite. When. Okay, so think about how many times, how many sounds. Okay, now you can pick up your pencil. We have 3 sounds. Now, as you're writing, I want you to say those sounds. So as you're writing those letters, say those sounds. Okay, number 2, then. 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 Repeat it. And then stretch it out. Then. So think about how many sounds, how many times did you chop the word or stretch it out? Say those sounds as you write. The third word is quit. Repeat. Quit. Think about those sounds as you write it. Quit. And the last one here is thin. Thin. In. Repeat. Say the whole word. Thin. Now chop it up or stretch it out. In. All right, let's check your work. Here is what you should have had as you wrote. Now, if you thought you heard me say something different, the first thing you need to check is your sound bank, okay? Is the sound that you wrote even in the sound bank? If it's not, that's your first clue. Oops, that's not right. Because if it's not in the sound bank, it's not going to be in the word as you spell it. We are ready to review our last sound from our last lesson, which is that like whistle sound. Okay, Now, as you write these words, you are not going to have a sound bank, okay? I want you to use your brain, though, as your sound bank. So our goal is to think about the sounds we know as we read and write, okay? So as you hear me say these words, I want you to repeat them back to me. Think about all of the sounds in each word. The first word is which, okay? Now, I'm saying which. Like, which do you like better, vanilla or chocolate? Which? So repeat it back to me. Now, chop it up or stretch it out. Which. So think about those sounds that we've been practicing as you read and write. There are 3 sounds in that word. Which. The second word is whim. 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 Repeat. Whim. Okay, a whim is like something that you think of just kind of out of nowhere and you think, ooh, that sounds fun, I'm going to do it. You do it on a whim. Number 3, when. Can you repeat when? When will I see you? When. Think of those sounds as you write by saying them out loud. Number 4, whisk. 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 You mix something up. It's a tool that you might use in the kitchen. Whisk. All right, let's check your work. If you're not quite ready yet, pause and press play when you are. Here is the correct spellings for each of these words. How did you do? If you made some mistakes, it's okay. You know what? Mistakes actually, they make me excited because as a teacher, I know that you're learning. If you make a mistake, that's an opportunity for learning. Okay? And it just means that your brain muscles are working out, they're getting stronger, and you're persevering. You're not giving up. All right, friends, we're ready for our new sound, our new phonogram. Okay, our new sound is that ang sound. There are 3 letters, but guys, don't forget, it's only saying one sound. We're not breaking each of the letters into separate sounds. It's just one sound, ang. Okay, we're going to have 6 words. And here we go. The first word is sang. Can you say that back to me? Repeat it. Good, sang. Now think about the sounds that you hear. Ang. That's right, there's only 2. Now, there's more than 2 letters total in the word, but there's only 2 sounds. First sound, s, write it. Second sound, ang, write it. And if you forget how to spell that sound, ang, just take a look on the screen. Spoiler alert, all of these words are going to have that sound, ang. Number 2, rang. Say it. Good, rang. Now stretch it out or chop it up. Ang. That's right, only 2 sounds. Number 3, hang. Ang. Like I hang up my coat. Ang. Repeat. That's right, hang. 2 sounds. Number 4, bang. Repeat. Bang. Good. Now, here's what I'm saying. Bang. Like, ouch. Don't bang your head. Bang. Bang. Think of those sounds as you're writing them. I hope you're saying the sounds as you're writing. That's what good readers, writers, and spellers sound like. Okay. Now, when school starts, or you're doing your homework and you don't want to distract anybody by saying these sounds out loud, you Just whisper them or think about them in your head very quietly. Number 5, fang, fang, ang. Number 6, spring, sprang, sprang. Okay, let's check your work. If you're not quite ready, pause and play when you're ready. Here we go. Those are the sounds and the words that they create. Notice that each of these words has ang, and ang is only one sound. It is 3 letters, but they're going together to make one sound. Friends, we're ready for our sentences. You are rocking it. This is the last part of our lesson. You're doing great. Keep going. Okay, so here are our sentences. And these are the words, so you'll see that I have a lot of the sentence written for you. Those are the words that I'm not worried about you knowing how to spell on your own. I want you to focus on spelling the words correctly that aren't there for you. You'll notice that you see that light bulb symbol, and that symbol is telling you, hey, right now, think about the sounds you know to help you as you spell correctly and write these sentences completely. Okay, that's our goal. So our goal is to use what we know about sounds to read and write. The first sentence is my. Whoops, I forgot a word, friends. I'm so sorry. That doesn't make sense the way it says. My has. Okay, it should say my dog, which you can spell dog. D-og. My dog has, now here's the word I really want you to focus on. Fangs. 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 My dog has fangs. Now I have to show you a picture of my dog. Here's my dog. This is Fern. And you can't see her fangs here, but she does have them. My dog has fangs. Okay, the second sentence, the kids. So that first word I want you to spell, kids, the kids, bang, b-ang, on the drum. Now that last word in that sentence, the kids bang on the drum, don't let that fool you. I know when you say drum, you might think you hear j. You don't hear that. You hear Okay, so don't let that trick you. The kids bang on the drum. If you need to pause, go ahead and then press play when you're ready. Third sentence, the boy sang. So that word I want you to focus on in the third sentence is sang. Sang. Okay, press pause, press play when you're ready. Number 4, hang the hat here. That first word I want you to spell is hang. Hang. The hat. At here. Okay, another thing that good readers and writers and spellers do is they make sure that they have complete sentences. So you'll notice that the first 3 sentences start with a capital letter. That's very important. And they all end, each sentence ends in an end mark. Now these are just statements, so they all end in periods. There are different end marks, but these 4 sentences just end in periods. On that 4th sentence, I want you to make sure that you have a capital letter to start your sentence. Let's check our work. Here we go. This is what your sentences should look like. In that first sentence, my dog has fangs. And friends, if you notice, oh man, I didn't get that, pause and fix it. No big deal. That just means that you are growing as a reader, writer, and speller. Don't give up. Keep persevering. I believe in you. Second sentence, the kids bang on the drum. Third, the boy sang. 4, hang the hat here. Whew, that was a lot of work, friends. Oh man. Okay, so our goal was to think about sounds so that we can spell and read words correctly. And our goal is achieved when we use what we know about sounds as we read and write. I don't want you to forget to stay on the lookout for our sounds, okay? Because that's what good readers, writers, and spellers do. They're always looking. It doesn't just have to be during these videos. It could be during math videos too, okay? Especially with school getting ready to start, no matter how you're doing school. Friends, if you're going to be doing school from home or virtual learning or e-learning or school at your elementary, I hope that you're doing these things even on the weekends, okay? So look for the sounds as you read. And we read all sorts of stuff. We read recipes, we read signs, we read menus. You can be on the lookout for these sounds everywhere. As you write, maybe your name has some of these sounds. As you spell, as you listen. So you might be listening to music or you might hear a commercial. You might be listening to people talk, okay? And I hope you listen and hear some of these sounds that we've been working on. As you walk, you might see some of these sounds if you have your eyes peeled for them, or as you ride in the car. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends, and I hope you tune in again. If you would like to watch any of our other videos from the Tutor Team, if you go to YouTube and search KCPL Tutor Team, that stands for Knox County Public Library Tutor Team, you will find these videos and much more. I always encourage you to make sure that you do these videos in order. My good friends, Mrs. Worland and Mr. Frederick, have some awesome videos that cover other grade level standards. And parents, if you have students who are older than kindergarten or first grade and you're realizing, you know what, I really think my second or third grader, they could really use practice with some of these skills that are in this video. That's okay. A lot of the times standards, we might find that students have some gaps in what they've mastered as far as the academic standards go, and it's never too late to try to fill those, okay? Practice makes progress. So I really appreciate you practicing your skills today, friends, and I hope to see you next time.